Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. Today is our Educational Thursday presentation. We have a powerful sister coming on to give our community the sauce, the information about the importance of life insurance. I think this is going to be another one of those phenomenal conversations and information that community needs. So looking forward to getting started shortly here, but I just wanted to say a couple things before we get started. One, here in the Bay Area, we know we got a major storm coming in. People, please take your time, drive slow out there, because we already know when it starts raining, things start happening, and we want everybody to be safe out there in this storm. Also, want to say prayers out to the family. Yesterday, I know the message been going around. We had a young teenage boy who was hit and killed riding a skateboard in the streets. And, just sad news. So our prayers out to his family, but community, let's do a better job at making sure we be mindful of our driving behaviors in our communities when our young people are out in the streets. Be careful of texting and driving. Let's be responsible because it's a tragic situation to watch a young person life be taken, just be whatever the situation was, whether it was just distraction, speed. Let's just be mindful and be responsible when we're behind the wheel, because again, if we're not paying attention, something this tragic can happen. And it is just sad, sad, sad to my heart to hear another young person taken away from this earth too young, too soon, by a tragic situation. And then lastly, there's been a string of incidents that's been taking place across this Bay Area, attacks against our Asian community, our Asian businesses, to our Asian seniors, not only our Asian seniors, but seniors in our community. I know a lot of this is hitting the news. It seems like it's happening rapidly. It's continuing to happen, and it's a disturbing type of situation when we hear about our seniors and our elders of the community being attacked and preyed upon by people of community. So we have to be more resilient community to pay attention, be mindful of our seniors in the community. These type of behaviors are not accepted. These type of cowardly acts will not be accepted from no community in our community. We have to show love and respect, and we want our seniors to feel safe and protected in our communities, and they should not be preyed upon. And we just have to do better, and we're going to all do our part. Thank you to the Asian leaders who reached out. We're going to try to put something together to talk about this, because there's tensions and there's things happening. And I don't want to see, again, things that's happened in the past with our Asian community and our Black community. So definitely we're going to work hand by hand and side by side with them to address some of these issues and deal with some of the things that's going on. But again, these type of behaviors has to stop. It is not acceptable. We cannot continue to have these type of things happening to not only our seniors in the community, but people in our community. I know times are trying. I know this the income for people has been impacted due to this COVID. But there's people in places trying to make things happen, trying to get our people in the community opportunities for finances and things of that nature. We just have to be patient. We have to work with each other, but we cannot stoop to the low of all lows, preying on our seniors and our elders of the community. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our exciting young sister that's going to come on and educate us about life insurance. I think this is important. We've had an uptick of killings in our community as well. And one of the things that we are tired of seeing here at both sides of the conversation is families having to look for GoFundMe's, car washes, food drives, asking for donations to bury our loved ones. I think this insurance thing has to be an important priority put into our budget to make sure that we protect the people of our families when things happen, because we want to be able to also protect our assets and pass on generational wealth to our young people and family when these times do occur, and we are deceased and no longer here. So with that being said, I want to introduce Simone. She was one of our hidden gems, y'all. This sister right here is doing so many incredible things. Busy young lady, but she's taking her time out to come back and educate and give to the community. She is Miss Arizona. She was running up for Miss United States, going a distance for the people. Love this sister. She's going to be teaching us the importance of life insurance tonight. So with that being said, I'm going to bring in Simone and she can introduce herself to the people. Good evening, Miss Simone.
Good evening. How are you? Thank you so much for the introduction. I really appreciate that. Again, my name is Simone Davis, and I am a financial advisor. Yes, I do hold many hats, one of them being the current Miss Arizona 2020. But one thing that I'm super passionate about is educating people properly when it comes to finances and making sure that their family can obtain financial freedom. So I'm going to pull up my slideshow here for you all and we can begin. Okay. So when it comes to building generational wealth, because the topic that we're going to talk about today is how to build generational wealth. When it comes to building generational wealth, I always like to ask one key important question. And this always sparks the interest when I ask that. The question that I would like to ask is, what is the most immediate response to building generational wealth in the now? So as we go on to our next slide, the common answers that I receive when I talk to people on a day-to-day basis is real estate, savings, buying property, buy land, and starting your own business. Now, all of these are really great choices, and yes, they can get you to a point to building wealth. But the two things that they have in common is it is going to take time and it will take a lump sum of money. So it wouldn't be considered the generational wealth when it comes to an immediate response. Just think about it. If you're trying to save to build generational wealth, if you're trying to buy property or land or a home, guess what? Let's just throw out a figure out there. $380,000. I know for sure I don't have $380,000 in my bank account. I don't have it anywhere laying around. And most middle class people, we don't have that. So it's going to take time and it's going to take money for us to use these as our immediate response for generational wealth. So when it comes to generational wealth, we have to think about how to build wealth. And in order to build wealth, we must truly educate ourselves on how money works. So, starting with how money works, I like to talk about building a financial house. I'm not sure if everyone has heard of that, but that's how I correlate my terms of okay, what is the most important thing for me? So, here I have set up a financial house. So, we want to start with protecting your income slash term life. A lot of people don't understand that when it comes to life insurance that you can protect your income, the month to month money that you're bringing in on a day-to-day basis can be protected. Now, after protecting your income, you want to start building your home. You want to pay off debt. And then guess what? When you start paying off debt, you're able to accumulate more money so you can go into retirement and then, of course, complete, other goals and dreams. But today, I really want to just focus on the foundation part of building your financial wealth, and that is going to be protecting your income. So, for most of us, we are working middle class. We spend our time working and providing for our families. So, I want you to take a few seconds and really think about if something was to happen to you right now, who would work or provide for you, your family like you do? So for me, I'm a mother of four children, and these are my babies. And I knew for certain that if anything happens to me, my family is going to take care of my children. But the thing is, I'm the oldest out of eight children. My mother still has four children living at home. So guess what? That's going to be additional four mouths that she has to feed, four people that she has to take care of. And my mom, she's a loving mother. And I know for sure that she would do her darnest to make sure that my children are provided for. But with that being said, my children are used to a certain type of income. I have worked really hard to get to the place that I am now. So my children are used to my income. They're used to their lifestyle that they are living. And that's a lot of things that people don't think about when it comes to building generational wealth. Or if something happens to you in the now, what are we going to do for our children? Yeah, they're going to go with our family members, but why add that extra burden? They're already having to take home a whole entire family. So let's just make it easy on them. So I decided to do some research on my own, and I was referred to a financial advisor. That day, my financial advisor told me that the most immediate response to building generational wealth is protecting what you have. So for me, I'm like protecting what I have. I'm a mother of four children. I'm paying rent. I don't own a home. I'm paying a car note. I don't own a car. I have bills. Like I don't own anything. I don't, what am I going to protect? My money that comes in goes straight out to bills. And that's when he told me what I had to protect was my income. So I am a financial advisor and I do use a tool where we can calculate your income and really just show you what it is that you need to take care of your loved ones if something was to happen to you in the now. So I'm just going to use a little example. I have four children. Say for an example, I was bringing in 45,000 I'm sorry, 4,500 a month each month. And if something was to happen to me, I would want that same income to continue to go to my children. And this is what why life insurance is important because you're only paying a little monthly fee to receive something greater in return. So yeah, no, I don't have, my 4,500 goes immediately to my bills, but that life insurance policy can protect that. So again, I want that $4,500 to come in on an every month basis for my children because they are used to that. So what I would do is take that 4,500. My youngest child is 14. My youngest child is 4 years old. I want him to receive that over the until he's 20 years old. So for the next 15 years, if something was to happen to me today, my son, my family, everyone would be covered and my income would be able to be protected. And like I said, I was just giving a general example. I actually use a financial tool that helps me come up with the correct numbers, but I was just giving you guys just a little insight on how protecting your income can work. So, as I stated before, how do I protect my income? You protect it through life insurance. Another thing that people don't understand when it comes to life insurance, not only can it protect your income, but it can cover your debt. Say that you owe a home, you owe credit card bills, you have a car that you haven't finished paying off, or you have a home that you haven't finished paying off. I know sometimes we get in the mindset of, I own my home, but we don't really own the home until we finish paying off the lender. So what if you spent 10 years paying for a home, and then if God forbid something happens to you and you have, for example, me, four beautiful children living at home, you will want that home to go to your children. Well, that's when life insurance comes in place. Not only is it going to protect your income, it can protect your home mortgage. So the only thing that they would have to worry about is, we all know, the land taxes, or the taxes for the home, but at least you took care of the debt. And that can be for your home, car. The only thing that life insurance cannot cover is student loans. And then also, when it comes to life insurance, it can help save your life. We have a living benefit rider. If you were to have a terminal illness while you are on life insurance, you can pull from your life insurance anywhere up from 45% on up, depending on what type of policy that you have. Now, if, like I said, I am a financial advisor in the company that I do work for, you are able to withdraw those funds and not have to pay it back. And then we all know the most common resource when it comes to life insurance is to cover the funeral expenses. Like John Henry already said, you get overwhelmed when you see families, on, the GoFundMe's, or, having car washes. They're already suffering enough. But if we can get into that mentality, if we can just save 30, 40, $50 a month, you know what? We don't have to worry about trying to raise money for funeral expenses. And also, when it comes to generational wealth, what I like to tell everyone, generational wealth is not for you, it's for the generation. So when it comes to generational wealth, we have to take ourselves out. we have to take ourselves out in order to accumulate that generational wealth. We're talking about everyone after us. So that's another key thing to think about when you are getting life insurance. I know some people say, oh, I don't need life insurance right now, but you do. If you have a family, you need life insurance. If you have a spouse, you need life insurance. Even if you don't have children and you have a family that you know won't be able to take care of your funeral costs or anything like the home or the car, get the life insurance and get it covered and take care of it that way. So I'm going to go to my next slide. Now, there are two types of life insurance. The two types of life insurance are cash value and term. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, there's whole life, there's universal, there's variable. Yeah, that's true. They throw a lot of fancy names on them, but in general, there's only two types of life insurance, and that's the cash value and the term. So when we come over here to the left side of the screen, we have the cash value life insurance. And I'm going to do a little bit explaining when it comes to the cash value life insurance, because a lot of people do not know the difference. When it comes to the cash value life insurance, for an example, we have John and Mary. John and Mary have a life insurance policy that has $100,000 for their policy. And over here to the right, they have a cash value attached. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the cash value accounts, anything from whole life, universal, or variable life, they have something that they like to call investment accounts or savings accounts attached to the life insurance policy, which is not the most ideal product to get. And I'm going to explain it to you right now why. So here they have the life insurance policy of $100,000. Over here to the right, they save a little over $76,000. Now, if something happens to John and they've paid $225 a month for these two products, the life insurance and what we call the face value, and um, the cash value amount, which is the savings. So they've been paying $225 a month. So if something happens to John, Mary will only have the choice of getting either or. 9 times out of 10, you're going to go with the 100,000 because it's more than the 76,000. Now, what happens to that 76,000 that they saved of their own money? It is going to go to the company. Mary does not have access to that funds. It's going to be forfeited to the company. So they have spent $225 a month paying for two things, which is the insurance and the savings. And if something happens to either or, they're only going to be able to receive one. Now, I don't know about you. I'm a big fan of a BOGO sale. I'm a big fan of buy one, get one free, but I'm not a fan of paying for two things and only getting one. And here, when we talk about the life insurance policies, when it comes to cash value accounts, that is exactly what you're going to get. I always try to explain to people, let your insurance be insurance. Let your savings and investments be investments. Separate the two. It's like when we have our car insurance or our cell phone insurance, we don't say, I'm going to pay my cell phone or my car note or my car insurance. I'm going to pay that insurance and then I'm going to send them, an extra $100 every month. If we did that, you know what they'll do with that extra $100 that you just decided to send? They're going to take it. That's exactly what they're going to do. And that's how cash value accounts work. There's only two ways that you can pull that money out. One, if you borrow against it. I know a lot of people say, oh no, it's good to get whole life insurance because it is a benefit for me to pull out money if something happens. Yeah, that's true. But the rate of return is only going to be about 1.5%. So when you borrow against it, they want their money back and they're going to charge you 5 to 6% more, which is ironic because it's not their money, it's your money that you're invested into this account, but yet you're having to pay interest on something that you put in the account. That's why it's important to separate it. If you want to start a savings, get an investment account and make sure that you get an investment account with the right company, to where when you put your money aside and you're trying to save and you're trying to get your money working really hard for you, guess what? Anything that you, for my company that I work, that I am involved with, any money that you put into your investment account, as long as it did not accumulate any interest, you're not pulling out the interest portion of it, you can withdraw your money. You want to know why? Because it's your money. So here on the cash value side, it doesn't work like that. And then sometimes you hear the horror stories, and I've reversed plenty of policies where I help read the policies, and this individual is thinking that they've been paying into their account for 2 years, and it turns out that their money doesn't even accumulate into the third or fifth year. So where is your money going that you were paying for the first 2 year? To the company. So I always try to tell everyone, if you're going to do life insurance, which we all need to do, there shouldn't be any hesitation. We insure everything else from electronics, home, you know, cars, you name it. We should think that way when it comes to our lives as well. So I always tell people to get term insurance. Term insurance is going to save you a lot more money. So here is the comparison here. So here we had, the on the left there was $100,000 policy, and here to the right it's 250,000. So they're getting more and paying less. So here John and Mary are paying the $80 opposed to the $225 with the whole life policy. Now with this policy, since they have saved money, they're saving about $145. So, with the money that they have aside, we always teach to put that money into an investment account. And guess what? Their money has doubled, did a little bit more than double to be exact. So if something happens to John over here on the right, Mary is going to be able to get both accounts. She's going to be able to get the life insurance policy because she let her insurance be her insurance. And then the money that she saved, that $145 that she saved, she started investing it every month, and she was able to put that in an investment account, and now she has the savings to take home with her as well. So never ever put both of the accounts in the same policy, because as I said before, you will not be able to get both. And that is my conclusion when it comes to the most immediate response to building life insurance.
All right, all right. All right. So Simone, I'm
Yes.
looking in here, looking for my questions. I don't see a lot of questions. I have one question. If you can explain,
Mm-hmm.
um, I know you talked about the term insurance versus the whole life insurance policies. What are some of the numbers that people should look for when they looking at considering? I know it's definitely individual based, but is there a round number that we can use, or for the amount of insurance to cover yourself based off your income? Or I know each individual situation is different, but could you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to a life insurance policy, I'm not one of those people. I get people referred to me all the time. I write policies all the time, and people come with this notion of saying, I want 150. I want 250. I always suggest, if you are going to get life insurance, you need to get a financial needs analysis done. And for me, I do financial needs analysis for free. You can go to a bank, they can charge anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars. You can go to lawyers, but for me, I do them for free. And that way, with the financial needs analysis, we are able to see, your income versus your debt versus your home mortgage. We're able to give you the real figure of how much you need. No one should ever walk into a life insurance policy with just a prorated number. You don't know your real number until you actually get a financial needs analysis done. So don't just assume, go the proper step and get a financial needs analysis done. That way we can gear it to your lifestyle. So for me, no, there's not a projected number because each individual is a different case. The only way we know your number is if you get a proper financial needs analysis done that only takes about 15 minutes. And we go over your whole entire income, everything you're owning, assets, anything, extra that you want to put in the policy.
That's good information. Good information. Is there some other tips that you could give to people? Far as sometimes the communities we deal with, finances can be uh trouble for some people. And I know with the term is really good because you can get like up to $1 million for probably like $100 or less. But what are some of the benefits with going just with like the policies that's just for burial and things of that nature? Can you speak to some of that, or is it just better just to get the term at a specific request?
So how I do it, I have people that come to me at different types of you know, things going on in their life. So I always, like I said, I'm the type of person, I don't just want to sell you anything. I want you to really know what you should have in a policy. Now, for us, say if I get a person and they say the policy the policy needs to be 250,000, and with that 250,000 their policy is you know $45. Now I don't have my calculator on me, so I'm just giving an example, so don't take these numbers crucially, because like I said, I use a system that does it. But say they have $250,000 policy that we have determined their family needs, and it's about $45 a month. They can come to me and say, you know what, Simone, I don't have the $45 a month. And then I say, okay, well, I extended this policy for 35 years. Let's see what it'll look like for 25 years. Or let's see what it'll look for 10 years. And then I let them know, you know what, I do want you to understand that you are underinsured right now, but we've conducted the financial needs analysis, and this is where, with the financial needs analysis, we can see where your money is actually going. For me, my money was going to random shopping. So sometimes we do have the funds, but we're allocating it in different places. So I always tell people, with always start with that financial needs analysis, because we're going to be able to see where your money is going. We're going to be able to see how much you need in life insurance and so on for so forth. So even if it's not
Oh, I think we lost you. I think you froze up or something. We couldn't hear you on that last part.
um what was the last thing you heard?
You was going into details on. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. Some.
Okay, so basically, when it comes to life insurance, just to sum it up, you have to get a financial needs analysis. A financial needs analysis, it's going to tell you where your money is going, and it's going to tell you how much you need in life insurance. For me, I typically, the basic burial is $25,000. That's the basic bare minimum. So we get the financial needs analysis done, and we can, I'll tell you the basic. I always tell people, if you're not too keen on having this big fancy, go with the 25 thousand. But there's some people that want more. But the financial needs analysis is going to tell you everything that you need, and me as a financial advisor, it is my initiative to tell you, okay, this is how much you need. If you can't get there, then it's my obligation to show you how to save your money so that you can afford the correct policy. And all that can be done with the financial needs analysis.
Okay, powerful. We got one question in the chat. I don't know if you can see it, if you want to click and see if you can answer that. Our good guy Maurice Rivers, he's asking about cash value insurance opposed to the term. Can you speak to that? You see that?
I can. Okay, so I would have to know why she why first, because sometimes that's a generational thing. Some people say do whole life policy or cash value policies because of the savings that's attached. So I would really need to know the why. But for me, I never suggest whole life policies to anyone, considering the fact that if something happens to you, you're only going to get either or. So you're paying a higher premium to just receive one out of the two. So that's, I would really just have to know why she's saying that. It could be something that was passed down to her. But whole life policies, I don't, no matter how they try to word it, no matter how they try to incorporate it or sell you on it, with whole life and policy, it's just expensive. You're paying for two things. If you can just remember that, one, it's expensive. Two, you're paying for two things. And three, you're only going to get one if something happens to you. And then well, do you have children? Are you single? So it's a lot when it comes to it's a lot when it comes to life insurance. Like we really have to gauge it. I know you said you have the burial almost paid off.
So what we could do is, Maurice, we getting close to ending. If you can hang on to the end, I'll let you talk to Simone once we go off the live. But just basically, one of the reasons why, and you guys know me, and I teach financial stuff as well. One of the reasons why I particularly don't deal with whole life policies because in our community it's a ripoff because the premiums go up. So typically what happens is they sell you this low premium rate. Your monthly payments is this, is set. And the way they catch us is with saying, oh, well, if you get a whole life policy in the future, you can remove some of the money to pay for college or buy a house. And that's how they entice the people to buy these policies. Over time, what happens is these insurance companies, the premiums will start to go up over time. So they'll say, oh, this is a lifetime policy. This is, once you purchase this, you'll have it for life. But what happens is the amount of the premium goes up so much over time that most people won't be able to afford it. And then they elapse the policy. And then all that money you invested, you lost and you can't retrieve it back. And so that's what happened. But typically, the selling point in our community is I've noticed, I've watched people sell insurance. It's always, well, if you get a whole life policy, you'll be able to use that money to purchase a house for a down payment or to pay for your kids' college. And the fact of the matter is, most people will never get to that policy in life because the premiums is usually what kick people out. And I've seen these policies go from a person paying a standard amount, let's just say $100 a month, and the premiums is like $500 a year. Over a couple of years, that premium goes up to $3, 4, $5,000. The monthly payments go up to $3, 4, $500, and it just impacts the people on our end. If you're in a different financial status, you might be able to maintain, but I've very rarely seen the benefits of it. And some people will argue it, but I'm with Simone. I preach, for our people, get a term policy. You get a 30-year policy. Typically these policies you can get up to $2 million coverage for about less than $100 a month, less than most of our cable bills. And we have to make this a priority, people. This has to be a priority in your budget. If we could pay for cable, cell phones, and the things that we need month to month, life insurance should be definitely a part of our budget because, again, we never know when tragedy is going to happen. And you want to make sure that you and your family is protected so that we don't have to be asking community for GoFundMe's and support. You'll have the financial means and you'll be able to leave some of that financial wealth. Xander.com is a good life insurance place. I'll let Simone, before we go off, give you guys her contact information, how to get a hold of her, and maybe she could give you guys some companies that she recommend. There's a number of companies out there. We just have to do our due diligence and make sure we make the connection. And that's why we have Simone here. You can reach out to her. You guys always know you can reach out to me. I'm big on this, making sure that we are protected in the right way. But again, I am an advocate of term life insurance. You need a 30-year, and you can get up to $2 million for less than 100, a half a million for less than $40 a month, less than a cell phone bill. So it's really not an issue or an excuse. So with that being said, Simone, if you want to go ahead and give the people your contact information, how to reach you on your social media handles, and then we'll go ahead. I'll wrap this up, and then you could probably speak to Maurice and a couple of people behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have an email that you guys can reach me at, and it's going to be made financial 2020 at gmail.com. So that's MADE financial 2020 at gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Simone is made. And then on my Facebook, you can find me by Simone Enomis, and that's Simone, and then Enomis is Enomis. But definitely hit up the Made Financial 2020 at gmail.com if you want to get in contact with me.
All right. And if you guys need any other information to contact Simone, you definitely can reach out at both sides of the conversation, and we'll make sure that we get you connected with Miss Simone because she is doing some amazing work, making sure that the community and our people are educated with financial literacy, making sure that they're protected with insurance, making sure that we're doing the things that we need to do to protect our wealth. The biggest thing is generational wealth. We have to pass it on. We see the wealth disparities. And we know in our community when people, grandma died, big mama died, different things happen. Sometimes when we don't have the right protections, we can get into financial ruin, trying to pay loans and trying to pay debt to bury our loved ones. So it's very, very important that we protect ourselves with insurance. The best way to protect your asset is to protect them with insurance. So that is very, very powerful. Thank you, Simone, not only for being our hidden gem, thank you for being a stand up person, doing the things you're doing for our young people in the community. You are Miss Arizona, represented to the utmost. And we just want to thank you for continuing to support both sides of the conversation, continue to support our community to make sure we had the information needed to impact us for our financial endeavors. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that being said, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this segment up. But you guys know it's this Sunday. We're going to have our Sunday conversation. This week, we are talking relationships. We're talking about dating. We're talking about love. We're talking about relationships. This is going to be a powerful 2 week series. We are starting this week for series part number 1, and then we're going to jump in it to number 2. I already know number 2 is going to be popping, right? Because it is Valentine's Day this Sunday, and a lot of people are going to be out engaging and having fun with their mates. And I know some people might get broke up after this weekend as well, but we're going to have a good conversation. We're going to start it off. We have some phenomenal ladies who've been signing up. There are still room, fellas. I'm going to call the fellas out one more time. Fellas, there is still room. You can be a panelist and be a part of this conversation. This conversation is going to be a very structured and respectful conversation. And we're hoping that we can learn from each other and make some changes in our behavior and how we deal with each other, bring some peace and some compassion and some humility to our relationships and learning how to deal with each other. But we're going to learn some of the difficult challenges that our sisters are having. We're going to learn some of the challenges that our brothers are having, but we're going to figure out how we can fix this black love, this brown love in our communities and get our people engaged with learning how to deal and communicate and work with each other. But it starts with breaking it down. And we're going to try to do this in a way that's going to be impactful for the community and people that's watching. So for my brothers, the sisters is signing up. They are in. We have some veterans out there. We have some lovely sisters who get it, who has the right tools. and ready to bring the gems to the brothers. And I hope my brothers support me. I got a couple brothers that's in, but I need my brothers. We can't be talking about the issues and not willing to show up to deal with them. So I think this Sunday conversation is going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. So if you want to join this conversation, please go to our website, www.bothsidesoftheconversation.org. You can sign up as a panelist for this Sunday's conversation. If you can't make it this Sunday, we're going to follow up the following Sunday with part two of it. And hopefully we'll get more people engaged and tuned for the next one, because I know after this weekend, some people gonna have some things that they're gonna need to talk about. So it's gonna get real, real interesting here at both sides of the conversation. But we are ready for this conversation. It is needed. We have to stop this gender war. We have to stop these issues that we have among each other and fix them, fix them, fix them. So looking forward to this Sunday's conversation. And then we're going to follow up next Tuesday. We're going to get right back into our hidden gems. This past Tuesday, hidden gems was a just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Want to say thank you to Karen Roy, who came in here. The feedback people was hit. They said, boy, we love this sister. She is dope. And they said they are picking up the phone and reaching out to our sister to deal with some of this child support issues and some of the things that she talked about. Great information. Thank you, Karen, for stopping by both sides of the conversation and educating the community and giving these brothers some hope, because I was getting phone calls. They said, what's that number again? I said, y'all heard her. Go back and watch the video. Just call her. So you're going to be getting some calls. The child support lines are going to be ringing off the hook. I mean, this show is so big and it's moving. People all across the country was reaching out. And, I seen Halle Berry post something about child support. So the issue of child support and child support reform is starting to ring to the top of everybody's ears. There's some issue in our family court system and our child support system that needs to be fixed. And now people are starting to get it. So together, I hope we can work community to go ahead and do the things that we need to fix it. And then we'll follow up Thursday with another educational Thursday. We'll be bringing another phenomenal guest on to educate the community. More information will be coming out this week. But that's what we do here. We're trying to intentionally impact our community with information, bring people together, but we got to continue to love each other, continue to support each other. And this nonsense that's going on in our community against our elders and the seniors of our community must stop, must stop, must stop. We cannot support that. And anything that we could do to help support you and community, please reach out to us at both sides of the conversation. We are looking forward to that. And this Saturday, we have a special thing that we're going to be a part of, the SF State part two of the Black Minds Matter. We will be hosting. Both sides of the conversation will be there. We will be the MCs and dealing with some of these issues and these inequities and these issues that we are having in our institutions. So just blessed to be invited to be the host. And this should be a phenomenal event. The information is going out in our groups around our social media handles, how you could get involved and be a part of it and see what's going on. Our young BSU, our sisters, other community are impacting, change, making things happen. And I just want to say again, thank you to our young people at the Lowell Black Student Union. The student president, Siobhan. Oh my God, these young sisters are powerful. They are making change. They are doing the right things in the community. We are there supporting them, and we're going to continue to support our young people in their endeavors as we fight for change. It's equity, equity, equity. That is the conversation, and I'm just happy we have some young, phenomenal people that's doing the work. And our mentors. Oh my God, these phenomenal people you guys seen this past Tuesday at 100% College Prep are doing some amazing things with our young people, and I'm just looking forward the things that's coming up with all of these collaboration and partnerships, and it's going to be some impact for our communities, our community. So, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning tonight. I hope this presentation was very informative for you. And again, if you need to reach out to Simone, reach out to us, or reach out to her. We want to support to make sure you get all the information that's needed. We love you guys. We see you. We support you, community. We love you. We are on our way. The freedom train is rolling. The movement is continuing. We see y'all. We love you.